Hi, this is Ryan Poe, and I'm a thankful person. And if people have watched my videos, I didn't mean anything hurtful or negative with my videos. I've been a Christian most of my life, about 28 years of it. And God started opening my heart up to philosophies and revelations beyond the Bible's understanding. He told me He's willing to do that with anybody in the church. The church is useful; it has its purpose. But when Ryan sat there and trusting faith and believing the doctrine and memorized in 2 years between 2011 and 2012 over 3,800 words from the Bible, because he recited what he memorized every day and things. He got real close to my heart, and we opened his mind to broader revelations. And he recorded the videos because he didn't want. I didn't want to keep it to myself. I thought it's important. It should be recorded on video. It should be recorded on video and shared, because what I believe was given to me. I mean, back then, I claimed agnosticism and atheism like 5 or 6 days ago, just because I don't believe there's just one God the Father, and I don't believe Jesus is a complete testimony, and there's other things. But while I was living in that faith, and that's what I truly believe in, before God opened my mind to a complete different understanding, that's what I believed in, was the Bible in. And I don't have the 3,800 words memorized today because I stopped reciting it. It took me an hour and 15 minutes to recite everything I knew out loud that I'd committed to memory over those 2 years. And I just got tired, and I knew when I stopped reciting it out loud, I was going to forget it. But I still have some scripture memorized. But he said Ryan lived in a trust. He told me this. You lived in a trustworthiness and faith in that church, Ryan, and respect for the name in the Bible as it was. And we started talking to you. And God had even said, who do you believe us? You only share information with people that you trust, like friends. And that's how we consider you, Ryan, a friend. So, anyways, the revelation was that humanity, what I wanted to say is just declaring a document. I was trying to be more clarified in this video, because some of it was less, it was kind of jumbled around in words. What I was told pretty much is that humanity was all one family once in those heavens. And it was all one family, not separate skin tones or anything. And we had different places, technology beyond our imagination there. And it was all judged because we started serving foreign gods. We did evil things, and it was considered evil. And they said, we're not going to completely annihilate this race of identities. We're going to rebirth them on earth in scaled forms and help them grow their societies, technologies, give them stepping stones for the next children to be birthed from. And we're going to slowly grow the society back to find a final document. There's a heavens for everybody, I believe, a life after death. I don't think they would have spent that much time putting people on earth with all the things that we do. We get to learn, we get to eat food, we get to exercise, we get to procreate. We get to be creators of our own, make children. He gave us a lot of allowances. So I don't believe this is it. It was all put here for a reason. And it was to document the scaled, like everyone that's living today and has lived, is going to live, met a judgment with God. And they don't have memory of it. But it was an eternal punishment. They had to be put to death. Everything, the reason why we're in an empty solar system with fossilized planets is because of our mistakes. And so he wanted fractions of everything. It all scaled down. Our minds, angels told Ryan, are 1/4 or 1/5 the size that they used to be. And as far as technology goes, they said, just because it's new on the Earth here today doesn't mean it's not millions of years old out there in outer space. So this is a final document to record where the people, the species, would be living in their new lives and skilled rationales without all the complexities and things that I guess we misused before in the end when it was judged. And so At the judgment, we're put to death. The eternal punishment, I call it eternal. They said it, if you know how you knew eternal from the Bible, was we were put to death without knowledge of who we'd ever been to reawaken a new life that was relative till we left off the last life. Up there in the heavens, before it was all put down here on earth. And we were separated in cultures, skin, hair, and eye colors, and languages, because we all had different moralities and practices in those heavens. And that's what separated us in different skin, hair, and eye colors. But God told me, I don't believe in racism or prejudice. You know, I love he told me, everybody on earth is a miracle and a blessing, and Ryan believes that too. But they had to be born in this life with the repercussions. The first repercussion, you know, is your skin, hair, and eye color. And the angels are the ones that told Ryan, your skin and hair color is where your spirit was born from, and your eye color is where your soul was born from. They also said the only other thing you have, okay, even if you didn't know the Bible, but let's start with America here. The only thing God gave people, whether they knew religion or not, natural inclinations on how to pursue, treat, and live with other living creations, and what to do in things. And those were gift endowment. Now, just because somebody has an inclination to do this doesn't mean it's right. It all had to do with their correction at the judgment seat. So the Bible calls it sinfulness, acts of wrong, actions that are wrong, sinfulness. We had a correction at that throne seat before we were all put to death. We were all known. And it was that smart. I mean, it was real. Everything was real until they even said they planted the earth. I'm going off on another, I'll tell you in a second. But so we have inclinations beyond religious content or anything. God's naturally telling you yourself, giving you feelings in your heart and your stomach, this isn't right, don't do it. And if you were closest to God, you'll listen to those. You know, but he said that, you have inclinations, and that's your personality. And your personality is the abstract form what your spirit looks like. And your personality is everything, it's a metaphor, everything you choose to paint your life with. The concrete form what your spirit was born from is found in your skin and hair color. And the abstract form what your soul looks like is found in the present condition of your voice. And the concrete form what your soul is born from is found in your eye color. So anyways, there's angels out there living in human bodies, occasionally come around. I'm going to refer to educational ideas here, teaching and things, rather than the music industry. I gave ideas of who I really believe were the take, and I have a YouTube video on that, like Eminem, Marshall Mathers, Lil Wayne Carter, and Post Malone. But educationally, they said they were putting angels, like he says in the Taken video, in people's bodies, and they were the ones helping us learn how to make fire, bows, and arrows from loins and tendons and wood and arrows. You know, they were creating small stepping stones all the way back to fire, bows, and arrows. And then they kept birthing natural people who weren't taking it to, you know, endeavor their own experience in mind with those new technologies slowly as the whole society and world's progressed through technological eras into educational institutions, into religious practices, the whole time. Angels were instructed, like, you know, as a human, without something higher than you, would you ever have thought, Ryan thought of this, would you ever have thought to digging into a mountain to find metal? Or would you just leave the mountain as it was and never get into it? But then when you found the metal, you brought it back and you melt it down and you turned it into things that you needed. That was another example. You know, there are stepping stones all throughout. They're raising people, but they're giving freedom to people that have been taken to live and educate themselves and grow to see what they really are. And they told me we're being watched from outer space. Every human living on Earth is being watched from outer space. And what they told me, how I believe that, they told me that, is the center of our eye is black and outer space is black. And there's something out there connected to our minds that's, whether we can explain it or not, that sees and hears and knows what we do and say and things. You just have to have faith to believe that one. But he gave me an idea like Wi-Fi, internet, wireless internet connections. That's invisible. You can't see it, but you've got an internet connection. And then a few times when I was driving down roads or walking, I heard a high, without headphones in, I heard a high microphone dropping pitch in my ear like a stereo from outer space was tuning into my ear. And I didn't have any equipment behind me. So, I believed it. So, they're just documenting people and what they do, and it was supposed to be the final document. And then we're reborn from how we lived and learned in this life. The reason I believe in rebirth, heaven, for anyone. And, nobody would have been born on this earth unless there is an importance and a meaning for it. But anyways, that's pretty much most of it. The skin and hair and eye color was a repercussion because it had to do with their immoralities, cultural practices, and every life in a baby born on this earth is a miracle and blessing no matter where it's born. But it had to enter this life with the repercussion because God knew those identities, those spirits that live in those babies' bodies. They're given to those bodies. And it's just a repercussion because there was such a wayward way of living or morals up there in particular peoples. It's not racism or rejection. It was just a repercussion. If God didn't love them, nobody, I'm not racist, never have been. God said they're not either. But there's repercussion with the homes up there, and when they were reborn in this life, they had to have a reminder of themselves of how they pretty much was wrong in ways. And it had to do with the skin, hair, and eye color. So, anyways, take care. I pray this helps, and if you watch it, I just cared to share it with you. I cared. Alright, take care. Bye.